Hi traders, it's Chris. Hope you are having a wonderful Friday. This is the video pre-NFP, non-farm payroll. So we're waiting for the NFP, non-farm payroll, to come into this afternoon at 1:30. It's just gone 11 o'clock in the morning here. Just putting together something which might be helpful to you in terms of gold on steroids. And I'll give you my thoughts on the markets pre-NFP. We've got some positions open which are doing very well, and whether we actually take the money off the table prior to the news that's coming out. It's going to be highly volatile, probably. The dollar pairs, so it's whether we actually take the money off the table. We probably will, to be honest with you. Excuse me. So let's go over gold on steroids. You've seen this many times before, and if you want the gold on steroids charting with 12 months coaching and signals, there's £495. Been priced at a point where I don't get time wasters, to be honest. There's a lot of time wasters out there who want everything for free, and I just want to qualify the people that are coming on board. I don't need a heck of a lot of people in the VIP room. I don't want a lot of people in the VIP room. It doesn't make sense to me. I make my money in the markets. So gold on steroids coaching video, let's do that first. All right, so let's have a look at this here. Now, of course, the market is completely sideways ahead of the news. That's perfectly normal and acceptable. We're not looking to trade anything spectacular. So there's a couple of things here which are particularly useful. We'll be doing a software update into the Get Funded group. And then I can actually, anybody that has the gold on steroids software, you can update your charts. I often do the updates, software updates, when I think they're valid. Not very often, once every 3 months, 6 months, just to keep up with technology, just to keep up with what's going on in the market, so we can stay ahead of everybody else. And what we can do is make more money. But not only that, it's not just about making money, it's also about freeing up time, which is the most valuable thing we have in life, so that we're not stuck to the charts all day long. And that's key for me. Okay, so let's crack on, shall we? So once we have, I'll do an uptrend and I'll do a downtrend, and you can probably see straight away. But I did send a chart image into the VIP room an hour ago or so, which emulates this. It's slightly different. I trade off the MT4 chart sometimes, and it's quite useful, and it's exactly the same as this, except it looks slightly different. So let me so this is the buy trend. Okay, so let's get rid of that. I posted these yesterday and I expected the bounce to happen, and it did. We had a change of character here at 44.35. So if you bought at that point at 3:30 on Thursday, then you would have made a lot of money. So congratulations. So what can we do from that once we know that we've got a change of character? Can we have additional opportunities throughout the market once it's bullish in this instance? And yes, we can. So what we have here is an indicator special settings, and as you can see here, this tells us that the price is very cheap. So you want to be buying it right there on the money. Don't wait for anything. And here, and here. So those points there, we can actually calculate what they're worth, depending how soon you get in, and that's worth 247 pips. Very nice. It pulled back again, oversold in an uptrend, and that's worth 168 pips. This one here, that one's worth 162 pips, depending where you get in and where you get out. I'll cover that in the next few minutes. So in terms of a sell, let's have a look at a sell. So we can see a sell quite easily, can't we? We know if we're buying, we know if we're selling, we know if we're buying, we know if we're selling. Simple, that's the simple bit. So let me just highlight a couple of points here. And then I'll talk about getting down into the 5-minute chart. And then I'll talk about entry points, stop losses. One, two, three. Now, a factor of 3 is really important in the market. What tends to happen if you have 1, 2, 3 successful trades, number 4 is usually the end of that move. Okay, so you're not expecting much. We can see the target, can't we? Each one of these moves, we could have a target here, a target here, a target here. It's already predetermined where the target is. The other thing that happens here, we have a predetermined demand zone with a buy factor of 67. This is ultra strong, okay? And as we can see, as the price comes down to 44.10, there's a massive bounce here, okay? So this is a buying opportunity here into demand. So it's slightly different. We're talking about reversals here. And there is divergence as well. Now, if you miss that, of course, then you can have the opportunity to trade the breakout or the change of character, which is highlighted here. And there's a big, fat, beautiful buy signal as well. Now, for me, the most important thing isn't, this is what we call the 1, 2, 3. So there's the 1, there's the 2, the pullback, and then there's the 3. That is a 1, 2, 3 pattern, typical of any markets, any assets, any time frame. However, if you miss that opportunity, if you miss this opportunity, if you miss this opportunity, there is another one here. 1, 2, 3. You only get 3 bites at the cherry, but that's all you need. Here, we calculate, what's that, 200 or 300 pips from here. 165 pips from here, 165 pips from here. So all these numbers are very high indeed. That's 374 pips. That one there, you could go for the same target here, or you can go 2 to 1 if you just want 229 pips. We don't want to be greedy. And here, depending how quickly you get into the market, there. Now at that point the market was not ready, but then it was ready and it fell quite easily there, 307 pips. Now you can of course use the previous low as your target, which makes sense sometimes because we don't know it's going to go that far at the time. So 234 pips from here. We've got that previous low here, 383 pips at that point there. The previous low, same again, 383 pips. It's a fantastic profit potential here with gold on steroids, which I'm sure you will enjoy. Now, how can we get into confirmation, entry points, stop losses and targets I mentioned? We can use a 5-minute chart on the gold on steroids charts, which are available if you want them. If you haven't got 500 quid, you shouldn't be trading. That's the first thing. It means you haven't got any money to risk. And if you haven't got any money to risk, then you shouldn't be here. You should be demo trading. Practice, practice, practice until you've got it right. So let's line up these charts with the 5-minute chart to help you along your way to make better profits, more profits, and make you more successful in your trading journey. I'll pick this one here because it's obvious. Actually, let's choose a trickier one. So here you don't want to be buying here. Look at this indicator here on the left. and look, it's in supply. You don't want to be buying in supply, you want to be buying in demand. Okay, so that's the first thing. So as I scroll back here, have a look on the left where you see this oversold condition here. Might not be obvious on any other chart except this one. And here is the bottom here. We also have divergence automatically plotted on the gold on steroids, and we have this moving average which is fairly quick actually, and we're moving, the price is going to move above that, and it's going to turn green. Okay, so green for buy. On demand, oversold in an uptrend. Okay, so you are going to buy anywhere along there. Anywhere along there, you're going to have a long position right in the middle. In this instance, what you can do, look at the middle of that block, 44.62, and that gives you the average number, the median line, if you like, of that area. So you want to get in on that number. Okay, you're going to have a stop. You're going to have a stop. You know, 50 to 100 pips is acceptable, but you know your target. You know your target. It's already there. It's already been told. You've been told where it is. This yellow zone is a sell zone. Okay, so there's your 131 pips. If you wanted 131 pips, let's do another one just so you can see. That's the most difficult one, because it didn't pull back as much as, and it had a like a gap there which was not normal. So this one is better. You can probably see why, because the gap here between the demand and the supply is over 200 pips. So you know straight away this is going to give you a better risk to reward. We're giving you examples here when the markets are sideways pre-NFP. So as the price comes down into this area here on the left, this is this one, we can see the price has come down into a strong demand area with a buying power of 69. I would prefer to see it come down into this area, but we don't always get what we want, do we? So your entry point, very, very simple. You're looking at Heikin-Ashi candles going green above the moving average. See how this goes green here? Okay, you could have had that a bit tighter there, the previous swing low, because you don't want to be really going at much more than that. You could take it down to here, but you're only going to get 1.21 risk to reward, which is not really efficient enough for the long-term success of your trading career. So just below that order block is fine, 78 pips, and you've got 2.15 risk to reward, giving you 175 pips in a very quiet market, by the way. All right, another example. Now, I know some of you are getting really excited about this, I can tell. And we can see now here, now this demand area might not be painted until after the event. It sometimes happens like that, but we're not concerned about that. I'd prefer to see a long-term demand like this down here being hit, but it's not happening. What's interesting here is the price is in an uptrend. We can see that it's clear. So we're only looking for buys. Okay, it's clear. And then we can do this. We can look at this. This oscillator is saying, look out, this is going much, much higher. And it does. So what does that look like on the 5-minute chart? We can line this up, look on the left, look on the right, and you can see how the price is coming down into a highly significant area. So again, what you're looking for is an entry point here. Wait for the price to go green and wait for the moving average to go green, and that is your signal. put your stop at the previous swing low, maybe a bit more to allow for your spread, and then move your target to the target that's already been predetermined before you even enter the position. 252 pips. I hope you're adding these things up. Now let's have a look at sells so you get a clear picture of what you're looking for before we go into the markets for the VIP members. Well, for the VIP members this morning, I just want to give you my thoughts on what my actions will be pre-NFP. So again, let's rewind to here. Let's look at the first one. So this is number 4. Number 4. We know where it's going. We have our target preset. All right, let me draw a line so it syncs up with that. So if we draw a line here and then I sync it, you can see the target. All right. So as the price, not that one, that's the last one. So let's do, this is the difficult one. So we can see that as an example, we have a sell position here. And so the key here is the price has gone below the moving average and the moving average has turned red for sell. There's another one there. I'll cover that in a minute. This is the difficult one because you can only accept the short position to the next target, which is here. Okay. Stop loss to the swing high, 2.79 risk to reward, perfectly acceptable, giving you 176 pips. Now this is within a few minutes. With Forex, you have to wait maybe a week or 2 weeks for that kind of profit. The next one, let's have a look. Wind back, wind back, wind back. Wind back, wind back. So we can see here that the price goes into a position where it's too expensive within a downtrend. So we are selling high and buying low. So as the position moves, then of course we can actually wait for the price to turn red. Heikin Ashi turn red along with the moving average below, and the price then starts to fall. You could wait for change of character if you wish. Personally, I would want to get into that as soon as possible if I'm at the chart. This is Asian session, but it doesn't matter what session you're in. A lot of people trade Asian session as well. So we can see that the price is 100 pips. Now predetermined are the targets. Okay, look on the left. Now there's a target here on the 5 minute which is much lower. Don't go for this one. This is too deep. Okay, don't get greedy. Look at the target on the left. Okay, that gives you 403 pips with a 4.04 risk to reward. Very juicy indeed. Now of course you can go for 2 times 207 pips if you wish. Totally up to you. That's a personal thing. Now let's go to the next one. Look on the left. See how the oscillator is overbought. That's what you're looking for. This tells you the price has gone too high too quickly. And we can see that the price, the Heikin Ashi chart has turned red. Okay, at this point. I'm not waiting really for the Heikin Ashi charts to turn red. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm on them. No, I'm not. There you go. Okay. I'm not really bothered about the colour of the bar on the 30-minute chart because it's slower. I am interested if I see a doji, of course, or a negative candlestick pattern. However, I digress. Well, we can see here, where are we? I've lost it. Hold on a sec. Let me just wind back. There we are. There we are. We're doing this one. Let's do this one. Right. Okay. So there it is. So just wait for the moving average to go red. Doesn't take long. Red candles. 3 in a row is good because it's negative. And then the price goes down to target. So that's 405 pips. Next one is here. So let's look at this one. And we can see that it goes red there and the same target can be applied. Look at the next one. So there's the change of character there to the negative side. So you're only looking for sells. Now you can, of course, as I mentioned earlier, you can sell on the sell signal on your gold on steroids. Perfectly acceptable. You can have a very wide stop here and then just let it go to target. That's perfectly acceptable. What I'm talking about here is additional opportunities that you could be missing, which you want to benefit from and profit from immediately. So here we go. On the left, price moves up into a downtrend, into an order block as well, which is always a bonus, and then the price gives way here. And we can sell that, can't we, once the candles turn red. And then we have a swing high here. Don't worry about the size of the stop. That is completely irrelevant. But of course you might want to adjust your lot size accordingly because you're maybe risking more than other trades. And of course we have either 2 to 1 or target as mentioned, giving you 475 pips. Alright, so it's a fantastic system of making money. If you want to be a cash cow, this is a way to do it, and it's a fantastic way to make a lot of money very, very quickly indeed. So let's go into the markets now, pre-NFP, and what we'll do, we'll make some interesting decisions. Alright, so we have this reversal system on the trading mentors, and we can see that the price on US Swiss has gone strong. We had divergence in the market. We had no convergence, not much convergence, but then we had a change of character. The price moved above the moving average and it went up, blah blah blah. NFP is coming. I'm going to take my money off the table. Swiss yen. Now I'm interested in this, so I'm going to take my money off. No, I'm not. No, this should not be affected in terms of the and put that to break even actually, that one. So I'm going to keep that one open. What else we got? Pound Aussie. It should not have much effect with the NFP. It's a minor, and minors are very slow anyway. So it's totally up to you whether you do or not. I'm keeping this open. Euro pound, again, it's a minor clearly, and I'm perfectly happy to hold on to this one. It should not have too much effect, and of course if it does, it does. It's just one of those things. So I'm no longer holding any US pairs. The euro dollar, if you sold it, then of course it's up to you whether you want to take it off. I had the long position on the US Swiss, so I'm quite happy with that. You could have had both, but nonetheless a nice profit there, 100 pips or so. If you want to take that off the table and start afresh on Monday, you're more than welcome. So the DXY is going to be sideways, pushing up, and that confirms the correlation with the US Swiss, etc. Just flicking through. Ooh. So we have convergence, divergence. So this is very, very interesting on the Kiwi. I'm waiting for NFP. So come back this afternoon, watch my full market analysis after NFP. If anything's going on, then I will let you know.